Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Voices of Portland podcast. We are on location at the great event that just took place in the Portland High School Library, and with us is a guest who is, she's an old friend of mine, and she has done one podcast, but I'm going to hook up with her again, Miss Barbara Miller, who also grew up in Portland. So hi, Barbara, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Thanks for inviting me.
Good. Yeah, talk right into that.
Hi, how you doing?
There we go. We got to talk.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, thank you. So what'd you think of the program?
I think it's a good thing that you're doing, and I pray that they can go out to the schools and be able to have history there too.
Yeah, no, I think
give them opportunity to speak.
That's a great idea. You know, I think from that standpoint, education is power.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know as well as I do, you've been in the education field a long time.
Yeah, a long time. So I agree with that one.
So anyway, but you know, as far as what was your favorite memory growing up in Portland?
Going to church, singing.
Yeah,
I really enjoy that, and my foster mother, believe it or not, she taught me how to sew. I received my first sewing machine at the age of 12, so I was able to make her little outfits for church.
Nice.
So I enjoyed that, but mainly was singing in the church and preparing for Sunday.
There you go. Well, you know, I think from the standpoint, I think we had a lot bigger audience this time, don't you think?
Yeah, you did very well.
Yeah. Hopefully next year will be a lot bigger to go from there. But I think we have your first podcast is already on Channel 15 Comcast. It's airing on Thursdays at 4:00.
Thank you.
So you can see that, and we're going to get post production on this one, and I got Miss Shaw coming on right after you. Okay.
I think it's a good thing what you're doing.
Well, you know, I think from that standpoint, it sheds light, and you know, right now podcasting is probably one of the hottest mediums that people consume news. You know, I mean, not everybody has a computer, not everybody, you know, but by the same token, everybody can listen. You can listen in your car, you can listen in your phone, you can, you know, whatever.
Yes.
So it's just a way of doing that. So, what have you been up to since our last podcast?
Since the last time I've seen you, I actually been helping others who are less fortunately medically, to help them and give them a incentive to keep on living. Don't give up just yet.
Yeah, no.
So I enjoy doing that.
Yes. Well, I know the panel brought back some more memories. Okay, as you know, I grew up on Perry Avenue, which is right on the other side of Standard Nap, which is now the storage building. But I can remember, you know, going down and playing baseball at Bransfield Park, and the baseball field between the Plant 1 and Plant 2 at Standard Nap, and so forth.
My brother used to work there, Buddy Mifflin.
Yes, I do, and I can remember going down playing in the streets, you know, right by Lemon Smith Saw, and you know, you're playing ball on the streets, and all of a sudden you go, here, car.
No care in the world.
Those were the days, but those
were the days.
Yes, they were. And you know, one of the folks that had a question for me at the end of it, he says, the True Vine Church now, where that was actually located. I think that if you look at the Y where Lemon Smith store was, it was right on the left-hand side.
Left-hand side, and then if you look on the right-hand side was the factory.
Yep, Kerr-McGee, and so forth. Yep, and so forth. But and then you had, well, was Bank Street on this side of the church or on that side of the church?
Bank Street was on the other side. If you're going around on the right-hand side, that was Bank Street.
Right.
You're going down,
Yeah, okay, all right. That's okay.
And they changed it, I was told, to Airline Avenue, I think somebody was telling me.
Well, now, Airline Avenue, and, you know, obviously Airline Avenue became Pickering Street, and then, you know, after all that kind of stuff.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And you can remember old Bransfield Avenue, which is the dead end there, and so forth, but yeah.
Because I was telling Reverend Woods, and I haven't seen him in years, his father, Pastor Woods, was my foster mother's cousin.
Oh, okay. It's a small world.
It was a small world. And I said, you might have forgot, but your daddy was my mama's cousin.
Well, you guys.
Catherine Mifflin.
There you go. There you go.
And they both were ministers.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So now, Where was your house when you grew up down there?
My mother it was a 2-family house, and it was long.
Okay.
And we lived on the left, and Uncle Bill lived on the right.
Okay.
And then after they moved to Middletown, then Aunt Ivory moved in.
Mm-hmm.
Ivy Fletcher.
Yeah, yeah.
But my mom owned that house.
Okay, yeah.
And people didn't realize, no, she wasn't written, and she owned it.
She owned it, yes.
Yeah.
Well, and again, that was, as the panelist says, a lot of people that were tenants rather than landlords. Then,
Right.
As far as that goes. So
Yeah.
when redevelopment took over, the landlords said, give me the money.
Yeah.
And,
That's true.
Which unfortunately for the tenants left them displaced and
Yeah.
having to move to Middletown. And I asked the panel now, did you find when you moved to Middletown, did you find prejudice over there?
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. I wasn't fortunate enough to be the perfect 10, or because of the darkness of my skin.
Right.
I was more hitting prejudice, because I wasn't like we always say red bone, which is someone light skinned.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I then being criticized a lot because my foster mother was the foster mother.
Okay.
And because I didn't have the original family, you get bullied a lot. But I was a fighter. 'Cause Mother Jeannie Shaw and David Rome could tell you I was a fighter.
Yes, you were. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but racism hasn't changed much. When I had my business in Middletown, the Barbara Mills Iverson Youth Center, a lot of people would ask Sister Mary, who was the president and the principal of Mercy High School,
Okay. Yeah.
who was her boss, and she'd be trying to explain to them she owns it.
Right.
But a lot of people didn't believe it until
Oh.
afterwards.
Wow. Wow.
And Sister Mary would tell me, and she said some of the things that people would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you asked me, I said, well, Jesus Christ is my boss. So if
There
that
you
makes
go.
it better for you.
Amen. Amen. Now, did you find the prejudice in Portland worse than Middletown, or was it?
It was
about
the same.
It was about the same. Okay. Yeah.
It was the same.
It was the same.
And it's sad to say, I hope that the young generation that we have now, they're not going to tolerate so much.
No.
Not this young generation that's coming up.
Well, and so one of our people from the audience said, if you see something, you got to say something.
Say something.
Because you just can't, let things roll.
Right.
Okay, because then it's all of a sudden it becomes accepted, and you don't want that.
No,
You know.
you don't want to go backwards.
No, you don't want to go backwards as far as that goes. So what's on the horizon coming up this year? Bringing in now that we're in 2025.
This year I probably would do more community work in different areas in the convalescent home by just visiting
Okay.
people who's been there and can't get out.
Yeah.
So I call a young lady, my sister, her name is Deborah, and she goes along with me. And
There you go.
so I said, yeah, Mama had her out too long.
Yeah.
So, but my goal is to continue to keep helping others. It's just something I've always done.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll be stopping no time soon.
Well, it's in your blood.
Yes, it really is.
It's in your blood. It's in your DNA. And,
Yes.
And thank God for that. Because,
Yeah, and I thank him every day for it. The fact that I wouldn't know what else, what else to
well, and again, the way I look at it, and I retired. It's January. I've been retired a year and 1 month, and
do. Oh wow! Congratulations.
working for the town for 50 years, and like I say, grew up on Perry Avenue. And spent
Yes.
all my life going to St. Mary's School, and
Yeah.
and I was just telling Mr. Smith was the janitor at St. Mary's School,
keys
with the keys jangling. Always come down.
Yeah.
My God, Father Butler, Father Kane,
Yeah.
and so forth. But it was good times, and we always, being so close on Perry Avenue, we always walked, obviously to school.
Yeah.
And I was able to walk close enough that I could go home for lunch, and
Right.
so forth. But it was fun. But it was.
But I
great.
think you and your team are doing a good job.
Well,
bringing
thank you so
bringing
much.
it back.
I so much appreciate it, and so we're going to get this up, and we're going to get it on YouTube.
Yes.
It's going to be on the Voices of Portland on the Historical Society, and we're also going to put a link on the Town of Portland website for you.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be all set. So anyway, all right, Miss Barbara Miller is in the house, ladies and gentlemen, and she is a thriving force in the Voices of Portland, and this is her second appearance on the Voices of Portland podcast. So, Barbara, thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
We got to get Miss Shaw in here next.
All righty. God bless you, and thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this episode of the Voices of Portland here on location at the Portland High School. Okay, and again, this is Black History Month, and thank you again, Barbara.
This episode of the Voices of Portland project was supported by funding through Connecticut Humanities. Connecticut Humanities is an independent, nonprofit affiliate of the National Endowment for the Humanities and connects people to the humanities through grants, partnerships, and collaborative programs. Their projects, administration, and program development are supported by state and federal matching funds, community foundations, and gifts from private sources. Learn more by visiting cthumanities.org. In addition to Connecticut Humanities, the Portland Historical Society, the Town Committee on Solidarity, and the Portland Public Library, this project was made possible through the support of the Town of Portland, the Portland Public Schools, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, the Friends of the Portland Library, and the tireless work of our planning team community volunteers, David Rohn and Barbara Shaw.